Hello, my dear student in 4th primary. How are you? Now, in every mathematics lesson, we have a set of questions that we want to answer them. Can you ask yourselves the following questions? How does our knowledge of multiplication and division help us solving problems? And how can we use our knowledge of place value in multiplication and division more effectively? Are you going to answer? We are going to answer these questions today in lesson 14, which is called the standard division algorithm. We have practiced division in the previous lessons in more than one way. عرفنا ازاي نعمل division in more than one way. زي ايه؟ زي estimation وكمان الاريا موديل والpartial quotients algorithm. Today we will continue our learning and we will learn how to estimate the quotient using place value and patterns in multiplication and division. We will also learn how to use the standard algorithm to solve division problems. And we are going to use estimation, as estimation is very effective way to help us decide لو الانسر بتاعنا is reasonable or not. This is what we will do at the beginning of access on page 314 on your school book. Let's see it all together. Here, as you see in the access part, like you see here, we are required, مطلوب مننا to circle the suitable estimate for the solved division problems. In front of us, I'll give you some time to think about the more reasonable estimation for the first two problems and circle the answer. We will discuss it when we are back. And now when I asked the students in my class, many of them thought of rounding the dividend. And some of them used the strategy that we studied before, like partial quotient division. That was to find the closest quotient. In problem number 1, will 1836 divided by 3 closer to 60 or 600? طيب تعالوا كده, if we estimate the dividend, we will find that it is very close to 2000. ال 1836 دي is very close to 2000, right? We are required to choose between 60 and 600. So, do we repeat ال 3 60 times ولا 600 times؟ واحنا عملنا repeat لل 3 60 ولا 600 times؟ طيب تعالوا نشوف كده, if we repeat ال 3 60 times, this means what? This means I will multiply 3 times 60. تعالوا نعملها كده. لو عملت 3 times 60, 3 times 60 equals what? Of course, the answer is 180. 3 times 6, 18, and put 0 to be 180. طيب ال 180, like you see here, is very far from 2000. في فرق كبير قوي ما بين 180 وفرق ما بين ال 2000, right? So, it is more reasonable that the answer is closer to 600. So, this is the right answer. Now, let's move to problem number 2. Problem number 2, he's asking me, is 7158 divided 3 closer to 2000 ولا 3000? Okay, whether we are solving by rounding أو بالpartial quotient algorithm, we will find that we have 7 in the thousand place. عندي 7 هنا in the thousand place. So, divide 7000 by 3. لو عملت 7000 divided by 3. As long as 7 is not multiple of 3. كلنا عارفين ان 7 not multiple of 3. طب انا عايزه اشوف اقرب multiple او nearest multiple of 3 less than 7000. It will be what? It will be 6, because 2 times 3 gives me 6, right? And since we are dividing 7000, يبقى the most suitable multiple of 3 will be 6000, right? Type the quotient of dividing it by 3 will be 2000. Then the answer of 7185 divided by 3 هيبقى closer to what? 2000 ولا 3000? Of course, it will be closer to 2000. Okay. Now, in problem number 3, the closer outcome is what? If you do it, you will find that the closer answer will be 200. Let's move to problem number 4. Problem number 4, he's asking me 491 divided by 4. Is it closer to 120 ولا 150? Of course, the answer will be 120. I want to try to solve it, and you will see that it is very close to 120. And now that we know how to estimate the quotient, and in order to have a proper conception, يعني تصور للأنسر بتاعي, we will calculate and how it is considered reasonable, وهنعرف يعني هو فعلا reasonable ولا not. Let's move to the first part of build. Find the similarity on page 314 in your school book. And this is the build part. But now in the build part, I want to solve it with you on the board. Let's solve it. Here we will estimate the outcome or the answer and then calculate the actual outcome using a quick draw. In problem number 1, he wants me to divide 68 divided by 4. تعالوا نكتبها مع بعض. 68 divided by 4. So, as usual, we will try to estimate the answer. We will find that the quotient is between what and what? 10 and 20, right? تعالوا نكتبها كده. The quotient will be between 10 and 20. Why? Because 68 can be estimated to 60 أو rounded to 70. 68 دي ممكن أعمل لها estimation to 60 ولو هعمل لها rounding هتبقى 70. طيب, if we use the multiples of 4, هنلاقي إن dividend is a number between multiples of 4, which is 40 and 80. Okay, 40 and 80. And that means the quotient or the answer is a number between 10 and 20. Now we will try to calculate the actual outcome using a quick draw. Now we are dividing by 4. يبقى الديفايزر بتاعي ايه؟ 4. We will draw 4 circles. تعالوا كده نرسم مع بعض 4 circles. As the divisor is 4, so I will draw 4 circles like this. Okay? Then, what should I do? The dividend is 68. طب ده معناه ايه؟ ده معناه ان انا عندي 6 bars of 10, right? 6 bars for 10 و 8 for the ones. طيب انا عايزه 6 tenths and 8 for the ones. Okay, then we will start distributing. هبدأ أوزع ال 10th bars among the circles. I will put 1 bar in each circle. Okay? طيب يبقى here 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So we will have 2 10th bars left over. I can't put in 1 more bar in each circle. عشان to be distributing over circles لازم يبقى عدد ال 10s the same in the 4 circles. يبقى here I have 2 left over. So we will regroup the 10 into 10 ones. ال 10 دي هعملها 10 ones. So now I have 20 units left, right? So I will add the 8 ones we had from the beginning to them. The result will be how many tenths? يبقى دلوقتي أنا عندي 28 ones. Okay? Then what should I do? I will distribute. هوزع بقى ال 28 ones among the 4 circles. So we will draw 7 ones. Okay, تعالوا نعمل كده 7 ones in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, I will write here 7 ones or draw 7 ones. Here also 7 ones, and here also 7 ones. Okay, then each circle has 1 10 plus 7 ones, right? 1 10 and 7 ones. The total will be what? The total will be 17 ones, right? This is the actual quotient we will have. Now we will find that 17 is between what and what? Yes, as you see here, 17 is between 10 and 20, as you have estimated at the beginning of this problem. Now we will focus هنركز بقى على standard division algorithm, so it is very necessary to know the steps of the strategy. I will write them now on the board. Let's see it all together. Okay, now let's write the steps here. Here I have step number 1. I will set up the number. Okay, يبقى step number 1 is set up. Okay, what about step number 2? Step number 2, I will make division. So I will write here step number 2 is division. What about step number 3? Step number 3, I will multiply or multiplication. Okay, then what about step number 4? Step number 4 is subtraction. Okay, step number 4 is subtraction. ناخد بالنا in these steps I must do it in order. يعني لازم أعمل أول setup, then division, then multiply, then subtraction. طيب now I want to divide 68 divided by 4. Right? Here I have 68 divided by 4. Okay, then what should I do? I will start by setting up the problem. يعني هكتب البروبلم بتاعتي using the standard form. I will draw the division symbol like you see here. Okay, then what should I do? I will write the dividend 68 under the line like this, and I will write the divisor at the left of the division symbol يعني here. Okay, طيب then what should I do? I will write the outcome of the answer at the top of the line. I will write the answer here. Okay, now then what should I do? يبقى أنا خلصت كده set up the first step. Step number 2, I will start with the digit in the place with the highest value. هبدأ بالhighest value اللي هو إيه؟ اللي هو 6, right? Then the digit in the tens place to the left. It is 6, right? طب لما أعمل 6 divided by 4. Ask yourself how many 4s in one 6. هي ال 6 الواحدة فيها كام 4؟ Yes, all of us know that 6 has only one 4, right? And I have remainder 2. So the answer is 1. We will write it at the top of the line. مش احنا اتفقنا ان الانسر بتاعي here. So the quotient now is 1. Okay, then the remainder is not recorded at this time. مش هكتب الريميندر دلوقتي خالص. Okay, now before multiplication, please note that the one we wrote in the answer is the quotient of the tens. الفاليو بتاعه ايه؟ الفاليو بتاعه 10. طيب دلوقتي هعمل ايه؟ هعمل 4 times 10. Okay, 4 times 10 equals what? Yes, 4 times 10 equals 40. So I will write 40 here under 68. And then what should I do? Yes, I will go to the last step, which is subtraction, right? 68 minus 40 gives me what? Yes, 68 minus 40 equals 28. So I will write here 28. Then what should I do? I will repeat all the steps again. Okay, I will start from the first step and repeat all the steps again. But of course we will exclude step number 1. خلاص احنا مش هنكتب البروبلم تاني. It's already written. So what are left with the 3 steps? Yes, I will start with division, then multiplication, and then subtraction. Now I repeat all these steps again. Now it is distributed completely and there is no remainder. Or the remainder is smaller than the divisor. This means what? This means that if it couldn't be distributed equally again. This is the same as the tens bars in the quick draw method. The new dividend now is what? The new dividend now is 28. Don't forget that we started the first step in division by dividing the tens. So when we repeat the steps again, we will divide this time the ones. And the remainder is 28. It is 28, what? 28 units. طيب now we will divide all 28 units by 4. And the answer will be 7. Why? Because 4 times 7 gives me 28. طيب هكتب ال 7 فين؟ احنا قلنا الانسر بكتبه on the top of the line as you see here. Then let's move to step number 2, which is the multiplication, right? We will multiply 4 times 7. 4 times 7 gives me what? 28. So write the 28 down. And then let's move to the next step, which is subtraction. So I will subtract 28 from 28. The answer will be 0. So now I don't have any remainder. The answer will be, the answer of this problem is 17. Okay, now this is the same outcome we got when we used the circles in the quick draw. Can you remember? And now let's check our understanding and solve problem number 2 all together. Here, I will leave the steps as it is, and let's move to problem number 2. Problem number 2, here we need to divide 457 divided 3. 457 divided by 3. Try to estimate the outcome. I will use the quick draw and you can verify your estimation. Now, since you are dividing by 3, so I will draw how many circles? Of course, I will draw here 3 circles, right? Then, what should I do? The dividend is 457. ده معناه إيه؟ ده معناه إن I have 4 squares for the 100, 5 bars for the tens, and 7 for the ones. Okay? يبقى عندي 4 for the 100, 5 for the tens, and 7 for the ones. Then, what should I do? Yes, I will start distributing the 100 squares. I'll put square in each circle. So, here I'll put square, another square, another square. Then, what should I do? Yes, now I distribute 3 squares, يبقى هيبقى في 100 square left. When distributing the tens bar among the circles, we will find that we have 5 bars of tens, right? 5 bars of tens. So, we will have 100 square left. طيب ده معناه إيه؟ I will decompose it into 10 tens. ال 100 اللي left ده 100, I decompose it into 10 tens, right? Then, what should I do? The total will be 15 tens. Okay? Type 15 multiple of 3. We will distribute them among the circles, which means that we will put 5 10 bars in each circle. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here 5, and here 5. And then, what should I do? Yes, I will distribute the 7 ones among the 3 circles, right? So we will draw 2 ones in each circle. يبقى here 2 ones, and here 2 ones, and here also 2 ones. There will be 1 unit left. We will leave it outside the circles. Here, 1 unit left to be what? This will be the remainder of the division. يبقى as for the answer in each circle, it will be 100 plus 5 tenths plus 2 ones. The answer is 152. This is the actual quotient. Now we will find that 152 is between what and what? Is between 100 and 200, right? Between 100 and 200. So most of you have estimated at the beginning. Now it will be solved. I will solve this using the standard strategy. Let's do it all together? Okay. Let's solve the same problem, but now this time I will use the standard strategy. I want to divide 457 divided by 3. أول حاجة هعملها إيه؟ Setting up the problem, right? تعالوا نكتب البروبلم كده with each other. Here I will write 457 under the line and the divisor, which is 3, at the right side, and I will write the quotient or my answer up. Okay, then let's move to step number 2, which is the division. Okay, I will start with the digit in the place with the highest value of the dividend, اللي هو إيه؟ اللي هو 4. Okay, the 4 is in the 100 place, so it is 400, right? Okay, then ask yourself, how many 3 are in 1 4? هي ال 4 دي فيها كام 3? Yes, I know that the 4 has only 1 3 with remainder of 1. طب أنا هكتب الانسر فين؟ I will write the 1 up here. Then what should I do? Yes, before multiplication, please note that the 1 is wrote in the quotient is 100, right? So 3 times 100 equals what? Of course, 3 times 100 equals 300. So I will put the answer here. And then what should I do? Yes, I will move to the next step, which is subtraction. I will make 457 minus 300. The answer is what? 157. I will write the answer here. Then what should I do? We know that after the fourth step, we repeat the same steps again. So now, okay, I will repeat. I will start with division, then multiplication, and then subtraction in order. Okay. Now, the new dividend is 157. I will divide this number by 3. Please remember, we started the first step in division by dividing the 100. يبقى now I repeat the same steps. We will divide the tens now, right? Now, ask yourself, how many tens are in 157? We will take the digit in the tens place, okay, and in the 100 place. The tens and the digit in the 100 place. And now we have 15, right? We have 15. So, we will divide 15 by 3. Hey, 15 divided by 3 equals what? 15 divided by 3 gives me 5. So, I will write the 5 in its place, which is up here. Then, what should I do? I will move to the next step, which is multiplication. I will multiply 5 times 3. 5 times 3 gives me what? Gives me 15. I will write it here. And then, I will move to the last step, which is what? Which is subtraction, right? Okay, but now here I want to multiply 3 times 50. So, it is 150 and not 15. Now, what should I do? Yes, I will subtract 157 minus 150. The answer is what? Of course, the answer now is 7. We will repeat the same steps again, okay? Division, multiplication, and then subtraction. But this time, we will divide the digit in the ones place, which is what? Which is 7, okay? Now, ask yourself, how many 3s are in 1 7? هي ال 7 فيها كام 3? Right, I know that 7 consists of 2 3s and remainder 1. We will write 2 in the answer, okay? So, I will write 2 in this place. I will move to the next step, which is multiplication. I will multiply 2 by 3 to give me 6. And then what should I do? Of course, I will subtract. I will do subtraction, the last step. 7 minus 6 equals what? Equals to 1. Okay, and now as you see here, this is the remainder. Here I have the remainder 1. Please make sure that the remainder of the division is smaller than the divisor. لازم الريميندر اللي يطلع لي هنا يبقى أصغر من الديفايزر. As we said before. Now you can apply, ممكن نطبق what we understood about the standard division algorithm in solving division problem in the second part of build on page 315. Now I'll give you some time to solve problem number 2 and we will check it when we are back. Now, welcome back. Let's solve the problem together. Now we need to divide 778 by 2. تعالوا نعملها مع بعض. Okay, let's write it all together. Here, as you see, I will divide 778 by 2. Okay. Now, what should I do? Yes, here the dividend is 778, the divisor is 2. So, I will set up my problem like you can see here, 778, and here I'll put 2. The answer will be up. So, I will start with 7. 7 divided by 2, the answer is 3 and the remainder is 1. The 3 is in the 100 place. I'll put first 3 here. It is in the 100 place, so it represents as 300. Now I'll multiply 300 times 2. 300 times 2 gives me 600. Then what should I do? I will subtract. 778 minus 600, the answer will be 178. So this is my new dividend. I will divide this number by 2. Okay, now this means that I will divide 17 divided by 2, right? 17 divided by 2. And the answer will be 8. So I will write it up. I will write here 8. Then what should I do? As you know that 8, the value of 8 is 80. So I'll multiply 80 times 2. 80 times 2 gives me what? Of course, gives me 160. So I will write the answer down. And then the next step, I will subtract. I will subtract 178 minus 160. The answer will be, of course, 18. Then what should I do? Again, I will divide 18 by 2. 18 by 2 gives me what? Of course, 18 by 2 gives me 9. So I'll put 9 up here. Then I will multiply 9 times 2 gives me 18. And the last step, I will subtract 18 from 18. The answer here will be 0. And this is the remainder. So I have no remainder now. When the remainder is 0, we say that the division is without any remainder. The quotient is what? The quotient, or my answer, is 389. You can solve the rest of the problems in the same way. And by now, we have studied division in more than one way. We can now apply تعالوا بقى نطبق what we understood about the division to solve the problems in the connect part in your school book on page 316. Let's see it all together. And now, as you see here in the connect part, let's solve this problem. This problem tells us that a train has 784 seats for passengers. If there are 7 cars on the train and each car has the same number of seats. السؤال بيقول لي ايه؟ بيقول لي how many passengers can sit in each car. كل car هيبقى فيها كام passengers. Okay, now solve the problem using at least 2 different strategies. I will give you some time now to solve it. When we are back, we will discuss all together your answers. Now, when trying to divide it using the standard strategy, okay? Now I will solve it with the standard strategy عشان زي ما احنا عارفين our lesson today is called the standard strategy, okay? So I will solve it in this way. So I will start to write the dividend under the line. Let's draw it all together. I will start to write the dividend 784 under the line and 7 here on the left side. Then what should I do? I will put the answer up here. Okay, now I will start to divide 7 by 7. 7 by 7 equals what? 7 by 7 equals 1, and I don't have any remainder, so I will put 1 here. Take care, this one is 100. So when I multiply it by 7, هعمل 100 times 7 gives me 700. I'll put the 700 here. Then what should I do? I will subtract 784 minus 700. The answer will be 84. Then what should I do? I will repeat all the steps once more. Now I want to divide 84 divided by 7. So I will divide 8 divided by 7. The answer is also 1 and the remainder is 1, right? This one is tenths. So when I multiply it by 7, I will say 10 times 7. The answer will be 70, so I'll put it here. And then the next step, I will subtract. هعمل 84 minus 70. 84 minus 70 equals what? Of course, 14. Then what should I do? I will repeat all again. I want now to divide 14 by 7. 14 divided by 7 gives me what? Of course, I will put here 2 because 14 divided by 7 is 2. Then I will multiply. 2 times 7 gives me 14. And the last step, I will subtract 14 minus 14. So 14 minus 14 gives me 0. So I have finished my question. And what is my quotient? The quotient is 112. So 784 divided by 7 equals to 112. And now after we have finished all this part, I want you to think about the easiest strategy for you and what strategy you need to practice more, and write your responses on Madrasetna channel page in the comments of our lesson. And now the rest of the problems in the practice part are of the same pattern we solved before. You can now practice solving them. The more you solve problems, the easier and faster will the standard algorithm be for you. I believe you have achieved the objective of our lesson today. We can estimate quotients using the place value in patterns in multiplication and division. We can also use the standard algorithm to solve division problems. To build our understanding and practice more, you can have to check your understanding by scanning the code shown here or on page 288 in your school books. And now, thank you so much for your watching, and see you soon.